what's going on today, PGL channel? It is SupahGassy here. We have a new thing we're doing, I guess, on the channel, which every league kind of does, which is the weekly recap. And the way we're going to be taking you through it is we're going to be looking at the scores, the standings. No, not the standings. The MVP race, the standings, then the next week's schedule and our pregame predictions, kind of. And with me, as always, I have Truexnorseman. He can introduce himself.
What up?
There we go. So yeah, let's just start right off and go into the first battle here, which was a big kind of upset, in my opinion, with the Los Angeles Dodrios versus the Portland TurboBlazes.
Oh, dude, that game made me so happy. And sad at the same time.
Yeah, because I know you had
Fearless at 1.
You had Fearless at 1, and you had Ian kind of low on your list this week, and oh man,
that might have changed a little bit.
The Entei, it was scarfed, which I don't think Fearless really was.
I don't think he figured it out. Even though he saw that he got outsped, he didn't pay attention to it. And that cost him a Mon later on, if I do recall.
Yeah.
He switched in thinking he would outspeed, and then he didn't realize the turn before that he was actually scarfed.
Yeah, the Entei just put in a lot of work, as you can see. Yeah. The Dodrios really had nothing that wanted to take a hit. I think Arcanine was down by then, so also Greninja was. So after that, you kind of just have everything open for Entei to Sacred Fire.
Absolutely. That's props to Ian. He played that match very well, I thought.
He played phenomenally.
He made all the correct plays, switch-ins, etc.
Definitely.
Just an amazing job all around, Ian. Props to you, bro.
Nothing really much we can say. Congrats on Ian for his first win in the format against who we thought was going to be one of the best teams this season. We'll see how that progresses. So yeah, that was a 5-0 win for the Portland TurboBlazers. Definitely going to lead them on to victory somewhere else sometime soon, hopefully. So we're going to get into the next match now, which is the Seattle Smeargles versus the Danbury Dragonairs. Now, I know True didn't really watch this game.
I didn't get a chance,
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch the game. But I know the majority of things that happen in this game. First of all, Sketchy really underestimated the power of Infernape Pangoro versus his team. Pangoro came in on, I believe, what was it? Milk Tank, and he knew that he was going to outspeed the Milk Tank. I think he knocked it out with no. I think the Milk Tank was out, right? No, wait, what the hell happened?
I wish I could help you on this one.
I know, I'm trying to figure it out because I know it was something important. No, okay, yeah, it was the Milk Tank. The Milk Tank was out. He thought he could switch in Thundurus, and Powder went for the knockoff, and the Thundurus just got straight OHKO'd by a Life Orb knockoff hit from Pangoro, who is just power against Sketchy's team. As you can see, he doesn't have many good fighting resists on this team other than Reuniclus, who Pangoro shuts down with a knockoff. So, I mean, the way that Pangoro got knocked out, though, with the low kick from Weavile, that was kind of an obvious play. Powder didn't really expect it, I guess, because he's new to competitive. He's not that well versed in what moves Weavile could have got, but he could have looked it up, figured it out, and made the appropriate switch. I felt Powder overall just played better. I know that Sketchy did not bring an item on his Ludicolo or his Milk Tank, which was kind of disappointing.
Did that just slip past him, or was that intentional?
I guess it slipped past him at the last minute, but I also know that his Reuniclus, this cost him the game. His Reuniclus had Regenerator instead of Magic Guard.
Oh, dude.
So the Manaphy was able to Toxic it and wear it down over time, and therefore the Reuniclus wasn't a threat when it was trying to set up Calm Minds. And I don't know if that was a misgen. I don't know what happened there. Again, it's faulty preparation on his part.
Yeah, you gotta pay a little more attention next time.
You gotta make sure to check your Pokemon before these battles happen. But overall, I don't think he played bad. I think keeping it down to a 3-0 was definitely an improvement. Powder is just running through teams right now that he feels aren't a chance to stand to him. Who did he play week 1? I forgot. Oh my god. Let me check.
Didn't he play... I think I have it down here somewhere.
Oh, he played Ian week 1. Yeah.
So... I was gonna say, I thought they played the TurboBlazers. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's kind of running through the bottom of the list right now. But you know what? It's props to him because I think once Ian gets his crap together, he's going to give Powder a run for his money. Dragonairs, though, with the 3-0 win this week, very impressive, leading them on to a 2-0 record, which is awesome. So we're going to move on to the next match, which I believe True did see. So you want to open this one up? I did
see. Sure. So kind of a surprising match. I would say it was fairly even going into it, I thought, but I feel that the Detroit Steel Wings made a few flaws in misplays. Kind of overpredicted, I feel, in a few situations. But Sydney Seakings come out with a 4-0 win over the Detroit Steel Wings, and that was it. His Dodrio put in work.
Dodrio hit like a truck.
Yeah, that brave bird. But oh man.
It's hard. No, it's fine. It's hard to remember the matches after you've watched them because the main thing that I really disappointed me is that Crimson prepared so hard for the Metagross. He had the Shuckaberry on Raikou, he had the Mesprit, he had the Scarf Crocodile, and then late game, and I told Crimson this, that you better beware because Lax plays for the late game. That's Lax's thing. You know how many 1-0s he got last season? That's crazy. But he does play for the late game, so he hid the fact that the Mega Metagross was adamant with agility until the late game.
Oh, that was amazing too.
That was incredible, and he was able to outspeed the Crocodile and finish off the game that way, and it was just incredible that he was able to save the Mega Metagross that way and play it so well. I know Crimson feels that Mega Metagross is probably one of the most broken Pokemon in this format, but we have
a lot of people do.
Yeah, but in our kind of scenario, I mean, we have Genesect here.
We have Ubers.
Yeah, we have Darkrai without Dark Void, like
legit.
Yeah, there's ways to deal with it. Don't worry, Crimson. It's not that great in this in PGL. I don't think it's that great, especially as an Uber Mega, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, it was a spectacular comeback for the Seakings this week, bringing them to that 1-1 plus 0, and the Detroit Steel Wings going down to 1-1 plus 0. So they're even now on record, which is good to see. So yeah, let's close out with the last game this week. And I don't know if you saw this one, True, but this one was Hack City right here.
Oh, dude, trust me, I know. I cannot believe how many flinches that Cinccino got. It had to have been 6 to 7, maybe 8 flinches. It was like crazy.
That was insane. Can I also just say, Trubbish got a kill.
I know, dude. That was I just didn't even know. I don't know how you let that happen, Puppet C, but you know.
I thought it was pretty funny though, because he went for the trick and he switched in the Trubbish, and we all forgot Trubbish gets Sticky Hold. So Sticky Hold Eviolite is just disgusting.
Yeah. Luckily, the Klinks tanks were able to get through the flinch hacks in the para and all that nonsense that happened. It was pretty much hacks versus tanks.
Yeah.
Like, that's what this match was, and the tanks prevailed.
Yeah,
but for a little bit, it was looking really, really close. It was like a 3-3 for the longest time, and there was flinches and recovering, and it just left and right, back and forth. And I had no idea which way it was going to go, because it was just, you have to, if you've not watched this match, you have to go and watch it. It was edge of your seat, like 40 minutes of like flinch, and you just had no idea what was going to happen next. It was great.
It was hilarious. But the main thing was how well that he played the Mega Sableye, which got 5 kills this week from being 0-0 to 5-0 to just, that's incredible. He always, I feel like he's going to be one of those teams who brings one Mon every week that's going to get at least 3 or 4 kills or more. And it's going to be disgusting how he plays those things. Because
I'm excited for it though.
I know he was messaging me. He's like, Plissy got 4 kills. Plissy got 4 kills. I was like, no fucking way. And then I watched the video and I was like, no, it fucking didn't. Those are all Mega Sableye kills from Burn. So, like Mega Sableye was just racking up kills with Burns. And, you know, he fell into that trap of getting burned on everything. The Mega Manectric, though, I was really disappointed to see that it was staying in on
with the Thunderbolts on Blissey.
Yeah.
He did manage to get the para though, but he had aromatherapy, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah. So, though in the end we can conclude Mega Sableye will always outbeat regular Sableye, and that's about it. So that was a 3-0.
And Trubbish can manage to get a kill in this
Trubbish
format.
can manage to kill a Rotom Heat, yes. But yeah, that's a 3-0 victory for the New York Klinks. Now I believe we're going to move on to the MVP race and see how all of these games affected our MVP race for Season 2 right here. So, at number 1, we have Manaphy with 5 kills, 0 deaths, and +5 differential for the Danbury Dragonairs. I'm just going to take the first 3, no, I'll take the first 5 and you can take the last 5, alright?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Alright, so we got Manaphy, 5 kills, 0 deaths, +5. Mega Sableye, with all of its kills this 1 week, with 5 kills, 0 deaths, and +5 differential for the New York Klinks. We got Excelgor,
oh my gosh,
also for the New York Klinks, with 4 kills, 0 deaths, and +4 differential. We have Conkeldurr for the Detroit Steel Wings with 4 kills, 1 death, +3 differential. And then we have Entei for the Portland TurboBlazers with 3 kills, 0 deaths, and +3 differential. And was that the top 5? Yep, there we go. You can go.
Alright, so sitting at the bottom of the barrel, we have Don Fan, who
wait, where are you going?
Oh, I thought you said I thought you said we were just going to do the top 5 and the bottom 5.
The top 10 right here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you said top 5, then do the bottom 5.
Yeah, no, I meant
okay, I gotcha.
The bottom 5.
So we're on Infernape?
Yeah.
Or are we on Entei? No, we're on Infernape.
I just finished Entei, yeah.
So, Infernape, with 3 kills, no deaths, and, what is that? A +3 differential. We got Mega Metagross sitting at 4 kills, 1 death, and a 3 differential, +3 that is. A Keldeo with 3 kills, 1 death, and a +2 differential. And then Mega Scizor with a 3 kills, 1 death at a 2 differential. And then Blissey, of course, which I can't count. So 2 kills, 1 death, and a +1 differential.
Yeah, very, very interesting MVP list so far. Mega Sableye and Excelgor up there. 2 things you don't usually see.
I see quite a bit of New York Klinks up on this.
Oh, yeah.
They have 3 top 10. Yeah, I'd say they have the most MVPs right now, huh?
Yeah, and then you got Danbury and Sydney also with 2.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah. So, what I found really interesting about this, except from the fact that Mega Sableye and Excelgor are up there, which you never see, is that we can see the majority of things are kind of either fire or fighting types. So we got Conkeldurr, who's a fighting type, Entei, who's fire, Infernape, who's fire and fighting, and then Keldeo, who's a fighting type. And then you got your 2 powerful steel types in Mega Metagross and Mega Scizor. And yeah, Mega Sableye and Excelgor are just out there. Manaphy, obviously, it's amazing with Tail Glow. It's a great wall breaker once it gets a Tail Glow up. I'm not surprised that thing has 5 kills. Then again, what Manaphy got in 2 weeks, Mega Sableye got in 1. So I have no clue. This is not the ordinary things we see on MVP lists for other leagues. I know it's definitely going to change around once the
we have some unique thinkers, though.
Yeah, we have some unique sets we see. Kinda, I guess. So, I guess we're going to move on to how all these matches affected the standings this week. So, I'll take the Omega Conference and you can take the Alpha here.
Sounds good.
Alright, so in the Omega Conference we have the Danbury Dragonairs with 2 wins, 0 losses, and a +8 differential. They are at the top of their list right now. Then following right behind them are the 2 teams who are tied right now. The Detroit Steel Wings at 1 win, 1 loss, +0 differential, and the TurboBlazers at 1 win, 1 loss, and +0 differential. So Ian giving Crimson a run for his money there. This is definitely going to be a tight conference. And then at the bottom we have the Pennsylvania Brelooms at 0 wins, 2 losses, and -7 differential. So this is a very, very close division. I feel like it's going to be a lot closer than probably the Alpha, where actually they're both really close divisions. So
Yeah.
in both their own way, Ian could easily, get past Crimson next week if he loses to if Crimson loses to the Dragonairs, etc., etc. Anything can happen in this conference. So how about what's going on in your Alpha Conference there?
Alpha Conference, the Klinks, of course, are sitting at the top of the board with 2 wins, no losses, a +4 differential, which may be not as good as the Dragonairs, but it's still the second highest differential in the league, so that's good for them. We got the Sydney Seakings with 1 loss, 1 win, did that backwards for some reason, with a +3 differential, and the Dodrios with 1 win, 1 loss, and a +1 differential. So, I mean, next week we could see some change in there. I'm not too sure, but Seakings definitely pulling ahead of the Dodrios for now. And then we got the Smeargles with 2 losses, unfortunately, with a -9 differential, which is the worst in the league so far. So maybe they can pull through this week and try and get above the Brelooms. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, definitely both very tight conferences. I mean, it's very hard to call who's leading what right now. Sure, you have 2 undefeated teams, but then you also got those 4 1-1 teams who are very tight at each other's necks. And then, I'm very surprised at how things are turning out. It's really making who I want to put what in the power rankings very hard for me, because I feel like everyone's playing amazing. There's those 1 or 2 people who need to catch up here and there, but it's a very tight race this season so far. So, speaking of tight races, let's move on to our next week matchups, which is going to be week 3 of the PGL, and we're going to give you our predictions, kind of a preview of what games we can suspect to see next week. So, at the first game, we have
pulling up the website.
we have the Klinks and the Dodrios. Definitely, this is going to be a tight one for me. The Klinks definitely showing that they are a force to be reckoned with this season, being 2-0 +4, second best in the league right now, differential-wise. But another undefeated team. Dodrios 1-1, came out strong that week 1, but lost the second week to the underdog, the TurboBlazes. So this is going to be a very tight one for me, because I know Steve was my number 1 week 1, and Fearless was your number 1 week 1. So our number 1s are going to be battling it out.
I'm going to predict Klinks are going to come out on top this week. I think the Dodrios are going to fight really hard for it, because they're coming off of that loss, and I know he wants to win. You could see it. If you watch his perspective, you can tell how bummed he was that he lost. So he's going to try his hardest, but I see the Klinks pulling through this match.
Yeah, the ultimate thing that I think is going to be the deciding factor is if the Dodrios can break that core of Blissey, Skarmory, Rotom Heat, Mega
It's so tough.
Suicune. I feel like the Klinks just have the better matchup with all the bulk they have against, one of the most offensive teams I see. But then you have one of the most defensive teams I've seen, and it's just... I don't think he's going to be able to break through that stall. I think the Klinks, if I have to call a score, I'm going to have to say maybe like a 3-4-0. It's going to be a tough game for Fearless. I'm
thinking a 3-0 as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a real tough game for him. Do I think he can break some of the walls? Yeah, I think he can break a few of them, especially if he runs like low kick Greninja, some crazy thing like that for the Blissey. But it's just going to be a very hard match for him to beat out. Again, you have, most offensive team, in my opinion, versus one of the most defensive teams. And, whenever it comes down to that, the one who always wins is usually the defensive team. So, you want to move on to the next match we have here?
Absolutely. So, Seakings versus Smeargles. Now, personally, I'm thinking Seakings for sure. I think, Smeargles are really looking for a win, but I don't think it's going to be this week for them. The Seakings, they just have so much experience in this format, and I can see this being probably like a 4-0 in favor of the Seakings in Lax Slime. How about you?
It's kind of hard to call for me, because the Smeargles, although they haven't been playing great, they can always pick it up if he starts preparing better. And I feel like a lot of the things on the Smeargles team kind of give Lax a little bit of a problem here. You got things like Reuniclus, who's really, really, gonna kind of wall most of the things on the Seakings team after a +1 Calm Mind or so, if he, brings the right set. It can set up on a lot of things, like Rotom Wash, Sylveon, Keldeo, maybe Mega Metagross? I don't know. Does Mega Metagross get knockoff? Is that a thing? I'm not sure.
I think it does.
And then you always have the threat of Excadrill in the sand. You know what? I think I'm going to have to go opposing to you this week. I think this is the week that the Smeargles get their first win, if they can really pull through and kind of get some momentum going with that offense. I know they have some really good offensive Pokemon, but their common weaknesses are what could really draw them back, and I feel like, Lax could pull 1 or 2 tricks here and there, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to pull through against a very offensive team here. Again, I don't see it being a big win for Sketchy if he does win. I feel like it's going to be a 2-0 for him, or maybe a 1-0.
Right.
It depends on how it goes, but I'm going to give him the benefit of doubt this week. Hopefully he doesn't let me down, because I really want to see him get a big win, and I would really be happy to see it against the Seakings. So, the next game we have, the match of bitter rivals here.
This one.
The Pennsylvania Brelooms versus the Portland TurboBlazers, and I don't want to say it's going to be a slaughterhouse, because I definitely have seen some improvement from Fugio, and he does have some threats to Ian, but Ian just has so much bulk and things that hit hard.
He does, and I see Ian in the TurboBlazers coming out pretty good this week. I think that, like you said, the Brelooms have shown that they're trying a little bit more week 2, and I don't think it's going to be super one-sided, but I think that Ian has this game.
Yeah. Again, you have that Sand Core with the Sand Slash and the Mega Tyranitar. You have Rotom Frost, who just destroys anything that doesn't want to take a hit. Actually, it destroys a lot of things on the Brelooms team.
Yeah.
Now that I look at it. You have Slowbro with the bulk, you have Tornadus T with the bulk, you have Amoonguss with the bulk, you have Mienshao, who's going to be hitting hard like a truck with, high jump kicks. Aegis Slash could cause a problem. It could. It very well could. Then you have things like Zoroark, who could catch the Brelooms off guard. I just feel Ian has the overall matchup. If I have to call it, I want to say a 3-0. I don't think that Ian's going to be prepared for the haxiness that is the Brelooms. He's really going to hate Fugio for that, but
I think if he plays the way he played this week, like I said, I can't think of a moment where I went, Ian just made the wrong move. You know what I mean? I think he played really well week 2, so if he brings that over to this week, I think that he's going to come out at +2 around there, because I still think the Brelooms, with their haxiness, I was so surprised at how much the hacks played an effect on the Seakings. The Klinks. Sorry about that. But I was so surprised by that, so I'm feeling like a 2, or maybe a 3, but more 2. But I think as long as he plays like he did last week, Ian's got it.
Yeah, it's definitely almost a no contest, but then you have that hacks. Anyone can win with hacks. So let's move on. Let's move on to the last game of the week. You want to introduce that one?
Oh man! All right, so we got the Steel Wings versus the Dragonairs. Now, the Steel Wings had a pretty upsetting loss this week, and the Dragonairs have been on fire. So, I don't know. I really want to see the Steel Wings come back this week, but it's going to be really tough.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, where Crimson has more experience, Powder's been showing that experience doesn't matter. And it's just so hard to call, because you have the Steel Wings with a pretty good, bulky, offensive team. I'm not gonna lie. And then that hazard stacking, and then the Dragonairs only really have Claydol for a Rapid Spinner. Maybe some other options, I believe. Oh, Latias for a Defogger. So,
Right.
I just feel like it's going to be such a close match because Powder has been playing phenomenally. He's been playing great. Although, you know, if Reuniclus had Magic Guard last week, I don't know how that would have went. We didn't see how Powder would have reacted to it. But then again, the Steel Wings, although they lost to the Seakings are, you know...
They're a good team.
They're a good team. They were here for Season 1. They made the playoffs. And...
It's tough. I don't even know if I can make a call on this one.
I think this is a 1-0 if I've
It's going to be a 1-0 on either team. Like, I can't pick it out.
If I really have to call a team here, I'm going to say the Dragonairs 1-0. I think Manaphy is going to be enough to save him the game.
You know what? Just to go opposite you, I'm going to say Steel Wings.
All right.
So one of us will be right.
Or...
One of us will be right. So we're like the best. We're like the best analysts right now because, you know, no matter what, one of us is right.
I just feel like a Walkenberry Manaphy will really help out the Dragonairs. It'll stop Raikou, hit everything hard after a Tail Glow. Manaphy does get Psychic for the Mega Venusaur, but then where Manaphy causes Steel Wings a problem, Mew causes Dragonairs a problem. So, it's so hard to call. Because Mew is so unpredictable in this format. The fact that he picked that up for free agency is just amazing. The fact that no one had it is just amazing. But yeah, I think that's the end of our predictions here. So, Steel Wings and Dragonairs, we can definitely say it's going to be 1-0 either way. Who knows?
Yep.
So, yeah, that's about it, guys. Let us know your predictions down below, who you're rooting for, and I think that's going to be it. I have a question. What's your marquee match for this week? What match are you really excited for this week?
Man, I really just want to see the TurboBlazers do well this season. I really do. So, I mean, plus I think it's going to be another fun match with the Brelooms being super hacksy. So I'm definitely going to watch that match for sure, like first thing. But I don't know. I like to see how the Furos come off of their loss last week against the Klinks as well, because the Klinks, you know, are our number one favorite team thus far.
Yeah.
So it's always fun to watch the Klinks at work and see how they're going to do against super offense versus super defense. You know?
Yeah. Definitely, if I had any marquee match, it's the Klinks and the Dodrios. Just that one's going to be one to watch for the ages. So, yep, that's all, guys. So we will see you, I believe, if we can, Wednesday in the Power Rankings. This should be going up tomorrow, which is Tuesday, if I can get it up in time. Hopefully I can. And, yeah, that's going to be all. So, see you guys later.
Peace!